there, this is Teacher Lab Podcast, episode 350, Learn English with Self-Aware by Temper City. You read English, you understand English, you've been learning for years, but when it's time to speak, your mind just freezes and the words don't come out. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. My name's Ola and this is Teacher Lab Podcast. I'm here to help you finally speak out loud. This isn't about perfect grammar or fancy vocabulary, it's about your voice, your words, your real English. Hey there, and thank you so much for being here with me today. I've got another little piece of real English for you, and this time we're taking it from a song. But let me make one thing clear from the very beginning. We're not going to sit here and analyze the lyrics line by line. You can put the lyrics in a translator and get a general idea of what they mean in about 3 seconds. You can even ask ChatGPT to give you a translation with, some expressions that you might want to use. But that's not really what I'm interested in. What I want to do with you here is something much more useful. Take the English from the song and turn it into English that you can actually use. English you can hear in everyday conversations, English you can put in your own sentences, English that can move from your passive vocabulary into your active vocabulary, because knowing what a phrase means is one thing, but being able to use it naturally when you are actually talking to someone is a completely different skill. So stay with me, listen carefully, and as always, don't just listen, wait for the practical part and repeat the sentences with me out loud. And after that, don't forget to download the worksheet and practice even more. Go to teacherola.com/350 and download the free worksheet. And if you're thinking, okay, Ola, but I really need more opportunities to actually speak English, not just listen to podcasts about it, this is exactly what we do in my voice loop group conversations on WhatsApp. You speak, you react, you make mistakes, and then you try again. And this is how you gradually become more comfortable using English in real time. You get my feedback and you get to speak with each other once a week as well. So, find out more, find the right group for yourself, and find the right level for yourself. Just take my free test at teacherola.com/test. And now let's get into today's phrases. 1. No smoke with no fire. No smoke with no fire. Let's start with a small correction. The line in the song is no smoke with no fire, but the established English expression is usually there's no smoke without fire. And you may also hear where there's smoke, there's fire. Cambridge lists there's no smoke without fire as the British version, and where there's smoke, there's fire as the American version, but the basic idea is very simple, and it means that if there are some rumors, accusations, or signs that something is wrong, there is probably at least some truth behind them. In Polish, it is basically the same. Nie ma dymu bez ognia. For example, imagine that someone at work is suddenly being accused of taking money from the company. And you don't know whether it's true, but several people are talking about it. And imagine this mini dialogue. Do you really think he stole the money? I don't know, but there's no smoke without fire. And notice that this expression does not mean it is definitely true. This is important. You are saying that there is probably some reason why people are saying these things. You could also use it when you hear a rumor about, a celebrity, for instance. Imagine this dialogue. Apparently, they have problems in their relationship. Maybe there's no smoke without fire. Or when something seems suspicious, suspicious. Why is everyone saying that the company is going bankrupt? I have no idea, but there is no smoke without fire. Number 2, one way or another. One way or another. This is a really useful phrase because it allows you to say tak czy inaczej, w taki czy inny sposób, jakoś, without explaining exactly how something is going to happen. And the first most common use is when you don't know exactly how something will happen, but you are sure that this will definitely happen. For example, one way or another will find a solution. You can use this when you are determined to do something. Imagine this dialogue. Are you going to finish this project by Friday? Yes. One way or another, I'll get it done. It can also mean w taki czy inny sposób when you are talking about different possible methods. For instance, we have to get there one way or another. Maybe we'll take the bus, maybe we'll get a lift, maybe we'll walk. You don't know yet. The important thing is that somehow you are going to get there one way or another. 3. I wish that I could lie. Now we have something slightly different because this is a grammar pattern as well as a useful phrase, obviously. So both in one. I wish I could is one of the most useful structures when you want to talk about something you would like to be able to do, but you can't. I wish I could lie means something like chciałabym móc kłamać. But the context of the song, the interesting part, is the grammar bit. After wish, we often use a past form to talk about present situation. Past form to talk about present. That we would like something to be different. With could, we are talking about an ability or possibility. Let me show you this in some examples. I wish I could now speak Spanish. I can't speak Spanish, or at least I can't speak Spanish as well as I'd like to. And I'm talking about the situation in the present that I wish were different. I wish I could speak Spanish. Or I wish I could stay longer, but you can't stay longer. I wish I could help you. I wish I could help you, but you can't help, perhaps because there is nothing you can do. And I wish I could lie. The speaker is basically saying, I wish I were capable of lying, but I'm not. This pattern is incredibly useful in everyday English. Let me give you some more examples. I wish I could sleep for another hour or 2 hours. I wish I could stop worrying about everything. I wish I could remember people's names. I wish I could just switch my brain off sometimes. I wish I could tell you what really happened, but I can't. 4. But my mind gets in the way. Get in the way is another extremely useful expression, and it means that something creates an obstacle or makes something more difficult. And the Cambridge Dictionary defines it: get in the way of something as making it difficult for something to happen, to continue, or to be appreciated properly. And the thing getting in your way doesn't have to be a physical object. For example, my fear gets in the way, my anxiety gets in the way, my phone gets in the way of studying because I keep scrolling, my thoughts get in the way of me enjoying this moment. So when the song says, but my mind gets in the way, the idea is that the speaker wants to do something, perhaps behave in a certain way or simply stop thinking so much about something, but their own thoughts prevent them from doing it. And this is a very natural expression for talking about problems that come between you and what you want to do. For example, another mini dialogue. Why don't you just talk to him? I want to, but my fear gets in the way. Or I really want to enjoy myself, but I keep thinking about what everyone thinks of me. My own thoughts get in the way. 5, always way too self-aware. Always way too self-aware. There are 2 things worth noticing here. First is way too much. And it's informal English way of expressing too even stronger. Way too means far too, much too. Like in way too much money, way too expensive, way past your bedtime. So it's too expensive means to jest za drogie, but it's way too expensive, to jest o wiele za drogie, zdecydowanie za drogie. The same thing happens in you're way too young, that's way too difficult, you're way too hard on yourself. But now let's focus on the really interesting word, self-aware. Self-aware. If you are self-aware, you understand yourself well. And you are conscious of your own feelings, your own thoughts, behavior, and the way you affect other people. Cambridge defines it as knowing and understanding yourself very well. And being self-aware can be a very positive thing, right? For example, she's very self-aware and knows exactly what her strengths and weaknesses are. It's good to be self-aware. He's self-aware enough to realize that he needs to change. And I've become much more self-aware over the last few years. But there's big but. Being too self-aware can have a slightly different meaning. Imagine that you are at a party and instead of simply talking to people and enjoying yourself, you are constantly thinking, do I look stupid? What are people thinking about me? Was that a weird thing to say? And you constantly think about what you just said. Does everyone think I'm boring? Why did I say it? And so on and so on. And you are so aware of yourself and so focused on yourself and your behavior that you can't simply relax. And this is the idea behind I'm way too self-aware. It can be close to saying I'm constantly aware of myself. I'm so focused on myself, what I'm doing, how other people might see me. For example, I'd love to dance at parties, but I'm way too self-aware. I can never truly relax in front of a camera. I'm way too self-aware. Sometimes I wish I could just say whatever I'm thinking, but I'm way too self-aware for that. And this connects really nicely with the previous line, but my mind gets in the way. Always way too self-aware. The speaker is saying, I think too much about myself, my behavior, my appearance, and that stops me from doing what I actually want to do. Time to practice. Listen and repeat the sentences out loud. There's no smoke without fire. One way or another, we'll find a solution. We have to get there one way or another. I wish I could stay longer. I wish I could stop worrying about everything. My fear gets in the way. My anxiety gets in the way. It's way too expensive. I'd love to dance at parties, but I'm way too self-aware. I wish I could just say whatever I'm thinking, but I'm way too self-aware. Great job! And before you go, don't forget to grab your free worksheet for this episode at teacherola.com/350. 350. And that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this one, and more importantly, I hope you found a few expressions that you can actually start using in your own English, because that's always the point here. I don't want you to just understand English. I want you to feel comfortable using it. And if you've been listening to me for a while and you know that I say this all the time, you don't become a confident speaker by just waiting until you feel confident enough to speak magically. You become a confident speaker by speaking. So if you feel like you understand a lot of English but still sometimes get stuck when you actually have to say something, maybe it's time, I know it's time, to give yourself more opportunities to speak. That's what we do in my voice loop group conversations on WhatsApp. There are small group sessions where you can actually use English, talk to other people, make mistakes, think on your feet, and get more comfortable speaking. You also get feedback from me and daily tasks. And if you'd like to join us, go to teacherola.com/test and take the test. It'll help you find the right group and level for you. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate and comment, subscribe if you haven't yet, and above all, stay fearless, take care, and say it out loud. I love you, I believe in you, and I know, just like you know, you are ready to speak English. I'm your teacher, Teacher Ola, and you've been listening to Teacher Ola Podcast on YouTube. Bye for now.